we return to the infamous Giygas leak from Smash Ultimate, and some new findings.
Block content.
What's happening, my Block buddies, and welcome to a brand new episode of Blocked Content's Leak Speak. My name is Callum, and this is going to be your content for today. We've talked a whole lot about the Fighters Pass. I mean, the final two characters at this point of recording are still yet to be revealed. I'm very interested to see who Nintendo and Sakurai have actually, put down for these final two spots. Everybody keeps thinking that it could be a third-party character, as far as, a Kasumi from Dead or Alive, maybe a Ryu Hayabusa from the Ninja Gaiden series, and of course also other characters that, are very big, like the Crash Bandicoot series. We could see Crash in the game, and maybe even Rayman or the Doom guy, or Doom Slayer. Now, there's something that we've not talked about for a little while now, and that's the possibility of first-party fighters coming to Super Smash Bros. Ultimate. And what I think is super interesting is that there's one leak that popped up somewhere, hasn't been talked about since. We reported on it, and a lot of you guys really liked that video, so I thought, why not revisit it, because no one has really cracked this code yet, and we can kind of dive in a little bit more now that we've seen Banjo, now that we've seen the Heroes trailer, because that does absolutely change the game for this title leak that we have over here. So, for those of you guys who like giveaways, we are giving away 3 Piranha Plant plushies. The cutest plant boys, they're little puppet plants. Remember to like this video and subscribe to Blocked Content's channel, so comment down below why you should have one of these plants to enter for the giveaway at 50k. There will be a giveaway at 40k announced very, very soon. So it's a little bit of a landmark to get to this point already. Alright guys, let's head right on into this. So the leak in question, of course, shows the gigantic Giygas from the Earthbound franchise. And it's really interesting and also scary to see this character because it's, this really hard boss battle. It's a character that doesn't really take any form. It kind of looks like a nightmare creature, and that's why a lot of people are very interested to have this character appear in Smash Bros. In some form or another. However, as I'm going to point out to you with a couple of points, it's really interesting to see that there's nothing in the game already for this character, or for Porky, a character that's of course very closely related to the character. So to me, it was the opportune time now that we know a little bit more about cinematics. So I really wanted to talk with you guys about 2 characters that we just received that we actually have cinematics for. So during E3, of course, we had the great trailer for the Hero, and now of course Hero has just dropped at this moment of recording, and we're playing as him, and it's a lot of fun. But we had this awesome cinematic trailer, and of course then after, we also at the end of that awesome E3 press conference for Nintendo got banjo-kazooie with another one. So what was cool about this thing is we even said the leak could be a lot more real, the Giygas leak, if we would get more cinematic trailers for other fighters. At the moment that we made that video, it was just Joker that we got, and that got a little like animation tease. So we thought, yeah, so they're not going to bother with doing CG trailers for fighters, so this is probably fake, right? The leak was just Ness looking at Giygas, possibly in the shadow there we could see Porky's, machine, but other than that, it said, the this is not final footage thing, right? Not final gameplay footage. So what was weird about this is that at that moment we thought, well, it's immediately fake because we don't get trailers for new fighters. That is not the case anymore. The Banjo trailer was a retread of the King K. Rool trailer, and with a lot more elements. So it's not just they were, lazy and, retreaded it just because they had those assets. No, they rendered completely new environments for that trailer. They did a lot more. They had Banjo and Kazooie in there, but they also had them like fight King K. Rool and him falling into the hole, and then Banjo doing that whole flip, and the entire sequence with K. Rool sleeping at the start. So that's a lot of work to be put in just for a cinematic trailer. So they do actually do that. And the Hero trailer, of course, expanded upon the world of Light, and that I thought was a really great idea. I mean, how would you even think to do something with your adventure mode that is already released and people have already finished. You know, it had brand new elements in it too, you know, the hero jumping in, all those new backgrounds that we've never seen, like the ruins, and of course, the awesome idea of corrupted spirit fighters battling characters in a cutscene. Like, we've never seen that. We've of course seen them march towards the screen, we've seen Mario turn into one of them, but we've never really seen a battle in a cutscene, because that was very much like what the Subspace Emissary was like. But in the World of Light, that never really happened. So they put an extra amount of love and care into Hero's trailer to, you know, expand it, to add it a little bit to the existing World of Light. And of course with Banjo, I feel like they went all out too. Even if it was a retread, the idea was not to make it easy on them. You know, the idea was just to, this makes a lot of sense in the story, you know, because, you know, for that trailer we got K. Rool, people have been waiting years, and that character is of course very closely tied to Rare, and Rare is very closely tied to Banjo because it's theirs. So the Joker trailer was very quickly put together animation, and I say that loving the animation and the animation style, but it was quickly put together because they were probably, you know, crunched on time. It wasn't a CG thing where, you know, Joker was there, and I don't think that Joker's, you know, animations were all finished. I mean, even later we saw just Joker like dropping down on the ground and like doing a pose. And that was all they pretty much had later on. And Jeff Keighley, who actually did the whole Game Awards thing, and that's like his brainchild, actually had a hand in how they wanted the reveal to go over. So he didn't like animate it or write it per se, but it was his idea to like do this whole, you know, everything goes dark. And, you know, there's a really great interview where he talks about that. So that's super interesting to me that they have a hand in that, and that that's the idea of a cinematic trailer for that character. Couple it with K. Rool and with Hero, there's still no sign of Porky or Giygas content in Super Smash Bros. Ultimate whatsoever. So this is super strange, right? The idea that these characters are not even spirits in the game, that to me says that they're holding them back for some purpose or another, because these are big. These are as big as the other side characters in the game, your party members, right? So to me, it makes no sense to have them excluded, and they probably want to save them for a later date. I really hope that that's going to be this Fighter's Pass. Now, a lot of people have been talking, of course, there's going to be another Fighter's Pass after this, and it's going to be 5 more fighters, and maybe those 5 will be first-party characters, so Nintendo might be playing the long game, and, you know, saying, yeah, of course, we have this Fighter's Pass, and we do these characters, but maybe it could be something completely different than that, and maybe the final 2 fighters could be first party, right? Maybe we could get a character from the Kirby franchise, maybe another character from Donkey Kong, because they've absolutely been playing ball. And I wouldn't even mind to see another Echo Fighter, even though it's weird to pay money for an Echo Fighter. If you gave me like Octoling and it had some, you know, uniqueness to it, or other characters that really closely resemble other fighters, and it makes sense to me, let's go for it. But the idea of Porky or Giygas, they would be completely original characters in the game, because there's nothing much at all like them. You know, you could even say Porky would be even closer to a Bowser Jr. than he would be to Ness or Lucas. So the idea has also floated around for Giygas, this trailer, to be for a boss. So the boss theory that we've also talked about with Gruntilda, the Banjo and Kazooie final boss, of course, that could happen possibly in the 5.0 update. You know, Giygas as a boss makes a lot of sense to me. A lot more sense to see that weird floating thing as some sort of character, a playable character. A lot of people that depict the character in that little tank they see him in, and it looks a little bit like Mewtwo, so a lot of people have, you know, altered Mewtwo's model a bit and made Giygas look like that in some sort of like quasi-human form. But the idea for Giygas is like, it's this, you know, nightmarish, you know, almost like cervix idea. So that's super strange. But also, Giygas seems like a very Sakurai thing to do as a boss. You know, this weird amalgamation of like nightmares and dark things. It doesn't really have a face. That is something that he does a lot in the Kirby franchise. You know, it has a similar feel to a Kirby final boss too. Lots of crazy, hard to dodge, like ethereal moves that he throws out there, and, you know, sucking you up into like a black hole or something like that. I could definitely see something like that happening. So we'll go over a comment from one of you guys that actually talked especially about that really soon. And even though the screenshot could easily be faked, in some sort of source filmmaker type program, or it could be a fan animation in that same vein, it's super easy to, place a NES model there from Smash Brawl or whatever, and to like draw that, entire Giygas frame. That's super easy to do. But the idea here is we haven't seen hints to these characters, and it just does absolutely seem odd, right? And to me, one of the things that's really interesting is this could absolutely be tied to the Doomslayer in some weird form or another. If I see that screenshot, I could definitely see the Doomslayer in his classic getup, the classic outfit, actually save the day there. So let's talk about that soon. And if you guys have any thoughts on Giygas in Smash Brothers or other Earthbound newcomers that you much rather like to see, or have your own theories, or think that it's absolutely fake, please let me know. If you have any theories, put them down in the comments, because I read through all of them, and I'll give them a heart if I want to discuss them in the show, because I think that this particular leak, or this rumor that sprouted up, no one has taken credit for it since. So it's still floating out there. No one really knows who made it, and no one really knows if it's real or if it's fake. So to me, it still could go either way because it looks convincing enough, right? So I'd love to hear what you guys think of this. If you comment down below, your comment could actually be featured and be read out loud in our next video. So make it funny, make it snappy, or super serious. So today's comment question is, do you still believe the Giygas leak, or that Earthbound content could be coming to Super Smash Bros. Ultimate? As for a previous comment question winner, our comment comes from D-Thaw. It was actually from the original video, and he said something super interesting. So he has Shaggy as a go, yikes, Scoob! So I'll read it as like Shaggy. I can see this as the setup for a new DLC character, Scoob, and to step in and save Ness, maybe Lucas. So thank you so much, D-Thaw. Yeah, this is really interesting. So you say that it could be used as the setup for a new DLC character to step in and save Ness and maybe Lucas. And to me, I could see Doomslayer doing that. A lot of people have depicted Doomslayer with that Smash Brothers logo in his eye, in the visor of the helmet, and I could totally see that whole dark and clouded but red, blood-soaked battleground be the perfect introduction for Doomslayer, because he wouldn't be like shooting like a demon or like a character that, blood sprouts out of. We don't want to see that in Smash Brothers, but he could definitely take on that kind of ethereal being with a lot of brute force and just awesomeness. So that's a thing that I could definitely see it tie into. I don't think that there are any other characters that make more sense to take on some threat like that than it would be the Doomslayer. So if you guys have any other ideas, let me know in the comments. I would happily read through all of these ideas for what a trailer could be, right? That's super interesting. So thank you guys so much for sending in your comments. These are always a ton of fun to get through. And of course, a huge shout out to all of our Patreon supporters out there. You guys make blocked content possible, and Tyler, we are working on that video, super exciting. And if you want to have yourself created in blocked content style, or join us for live discussions, or even have your own video idea and you want to have it appear on our channel, well, I can make it for you. If you go to patreon.com/blockedcontent, there's a bunch of incredible rewards there, and even for $1 a month, you could support the channel in a huge way, and you could even get your own video ideas become content on our channel. So they're waiting for you. And remember, if you're not yet a member of the Blocked Content family yet, there's always more space in our family, so click the subscribe button, ring that bell for notifications, so every time we make a new video, whether it's battle quotes or Snake Codex, there's something new coming up, or even Leak Speak, there's always the latest video right there. And all the news and fun you care about will always be delivered daily to you. So thank you guys so much for watching, and I'll see you around the corner where there's always more Leak Speak and Blocked Content. See ya.